3.wmv pushing the system to work. But we hope that without a social worker, a poor person can go and get justice in the system that exists. And that is what we're working towards. I definitely believe in restorative justice, and I do sympathize with the perpetrators, but the law must take its course. And we work to do trainings. We are part of many of the there are other NGOs who are networking. We want to engage the perpetrators, engage the owners of facilities who have slaves captive. We want to engage them, we want to educate them. We are involved in groups and forums like that. But it is difficult. I mean, I told you, I don't know if I can answer it fully, but this question does come up very often, what happens to the perpetrator after he's in prison. And we are working, we're still very young as an organization in the world. It's just been 9 years since we started in Chennai, and we're learning how to provide care for the people we rescue. We're learning the best way to engage the owners, engage the perpetrators, and to engage the community on the whole. Because it's not just the system that's being followed. But I was at a training where there were NGOs, there were owners, there were government officials, everybody represented there at the training, and we were learning about slavery and bonded labor. And this person who you saw on the video, he and his son were also there. And in fact, we did the case after the training. So it is not just training alone or dialogue alone that will hold the perpetrator back. Because in spite of knowing the law, in spite of understanding that it is wrong, he still went ahead and held slaves under him. And this was the first case that we did against him, and then after we rescued this group of people, we went back to rescue another group of people. It's because the system did not work fast enough to hold them accountable. And now, after he is in prison, he has stopped taking new slaves. And so to break the system, there has to be accountability. But I think we have to also have ways of reaching out to the people who are wronged. When you have power and influence, you don't care for the legal system. You don't care because you can buy the system. But once the system starts working, then you can think about how you can restore the person. But until then, I don't see any way to break the cycle apart from accountability. I don't see another way. It will continue. If you just, there are organizations which just go and rescue people and rehabilitate them without holding the perpetrator accountable. And I would humbly request those organizations to stop. You know why? Because right now, for example, if there are 10 people who are in slavery under that owner, you take them out and rehabilitate them and don't hold them accountable, he is going to go and get 10 more fresh faces. And you are perpetrating the system. You are actually encouraging him to have more slaves, to make new people slaves. So I would strongly suggest, don't do that. Let the people who are slaves continue to be slaves. That's what you're going to do. So accountability is very, very important if you want to break the cycle.
I would like to request the speakers to take about 2 minutes to 3 when they are answering questions. I want to give the people at the back because, yeah, yes.
Martin from Germany, just what we should ask, how can we support your efforts? So we are far away, we are in a totally different country, so many in our country do not even know the fact that there are slaves in India.
I'm really grateful for the offer.
Just a second. He is from Germany and he is asking, how can we take action?
Thank you so much for just asking us, how you can help us. You can go to our website, it's www.ijm.org, and it will give you all the resources about how you can get involved. We do have a lot of volunteers who come and serve on our team. You can pray for us, you can partner, you can support financially, however you want to be involved. You can go to our website and you will get all the information. I also have my colleague Bethany, who is seated there. You can meet her. She's from our DC office, and she can also help you.
Can the colleague stand up at the back? Can you stand up? So you can take the contacts and the details from her. Thank you. Any other question? Yes?
Hi, I'm from Africa Radio. I just want to ask you a question. The one speaker said that we normally rush in afterwards, and surely the church is there. We had the Jewish Holocaust, we had Rwanda, we had Kosovo, we had all these things. What is the church doing now? Internationally, we've got the China situation right now. What is the church doing with regards to that now?
His question is that the church has always been there, but comes late. What is it that we must do now that we are as an international church, so that we are able to prevent happenings of those events? And he gives China as an example. What is it that we are doing now? Who is going to answer that?
I think coming also from a place of conflict, Sri Lanka, one of the things we have felt is that the church can give its brains to responding to these issues from not so much as a church, but as people, as thinking people. I think that's what has happened in Sri Lanka, where Christians have, with the backing of the church, responded to the issues as intellectuals, as writers, as people who are involved in the peace process. But because we come from minority situations, we can't do it as Christians, we do it as Sri Lankans. So I think that is one thing that the church can do, to encourage its people to get into these situations, get into the society, and try to be people who address these issues. Just one issue.
Yeah, I think that's a good question, but actually handling the case like the case of China becomes a bit difficult, because it's like if somebody had tried to stop the genocide when it was going on, sometimes it's too late. But, I have to add a but, for people who are outside, there is always at least two things that can be done. Number one is pray. Actually, very often we underestimate the power of prayer. But when you pray for a country like China, sometimes you get to a point where you just give up and you say, we prayed and prayed, nothing has happened. I'm sure that's one thing that very often people don't even remember. I myself, I have to confess that yesterday, when they presented the case of China, I said, I knew about this, but very often you become accustomed to it because it has been going on for a long time. So I think ongoing prayer is one thing we can do. Number two, well,